All right, before we start part 3 of 3, I just want to remind people that I recorded this on Sunday, January 19th. So, sorry, December 19th. Things have changed a little bit since then. Not too much, but, right around where we were expecting. I keep saying, you'll hear me throughout the thing saying, it could take a couple of months to play out. And that's true, even though we're seeing, it's Christmas Eve, it's Friday. We're starting to see a lot of the charts in crypto starting to pull up. But that doesn't mean it's going to start going parabolic. So just keep that in mind. We could be hitting equal highs or something like that, and going sideways for quite some time. That's the whole reason why I do the thing about the metals in the beginning. So it's just a forewarning about what's coming up, and I hope you enjoy. Also, check out Core App. That's Qoore. Yeah, 3 O's. That's what the logo looks like in the App Store, and I'll be putting a link to it in the description. What it is it's basically like Patreon for traders, right? Basically, you get to follow me. I'll put out my ideas for trades. You can choose whether you want to take them or not. Once I become a 5-star trader, which means I think you have to at least do 10 trades and then get 80% of your calls accurate from that point on, then you get to put up a paywall. All right, so it would be like, I would charge somebody, $15 a month, just to follow me, to get my crypto calls or whatever. If they're making, 10-20%, in every week, I don't see why that's a bad thing. So that's kind of the basis of Core, the Qoor. So that's it. Again, I will put that description in the link below. Make sure you're on mobile as well. It won't work if you're on actual computer. It'll only work on mobile. And you don't worry, you don't have to trade through it. It's basically just ideas right now. They're trying to work out all the kinks and stuff like that. But right now, it's a really cool idea. I'm loving it for my crypto ideas that I can throw out there to people, rather than having to use Telegram or something like that, or Patreon. I don't even know what else I could use. This is actually taking its place. I was gonna do a Telegram service to where I was gonna charge people a certain amount, for to follow me and to get my calls and my trades and whatnot. But if they're already doing that, and and they have most of the crypto, well, they don't have all the crypto. That's the only thing. They only have some, and there's some kinks I need to work out with it. But other than that, I think it's a great app. So follow me on there. And that way you can catch my calls and earn money when I earn money. All right. And even though I have some ideas for some videos coming up, I do want to do a deep dive into Core to tell you guys all about it, because it's really interesting. Before I get into the crypto, actually, what I wanted to do is talk about the graphics cards and what they're made out of, because now we're talking about commodities. And if we're talking about commodities, we need to take a look at what the commodities prices are to see if these graphics cards are going to eventually end up being more expensive or less expensive. Because if they're going to end up being more expensive, then that's going to be more overhead on the crypto miners companies. More overhead on the crypto mining companies means it's going to eat into their pockets, eat into their profits a little bit more. It means it doesn't mean they're not going to produce as much, no. But it could affect their stocks, their stock prices, which could undoubtedly affect crypto, because it could give the perception to the public eye, hey, they're not doing as well, so therefore I'm not for sure if I want to invest in the crypto, because the mining companies aren't doing as well. But you need to look instead at the raw materials of what the graphics cards are made out of, and then determine that as well. So here we do have a list of what these things are made out of. First one, aluminum. All right, so here are aluminum futures. It's a front continuous contract. I believe aluminum is measured at, let's see here, measured by the 25 metric tons, or it's priced. I forget exactly how it's priced. Hold on. We go to bar chart. See, I have the bar chart one next to it as well. The reason I had the bar chart one is because I wanted to use the commitment of traders report. The aluminum for some reason doesn't have it. Now the aluminum is not too huge. There's only certain parts in a lot of these that are aluminum. The rest of it, the good parts anyway, are going to be made of steel, and others, and we'll get to them in just a second. Okay, yeah, 25 metric tons. Each tick size is 25 cents. 625 a contract. Oh, yes, 25 metric tons. So, yeah, I was right. 25 metric tons is what it is priced at. And this one doesn't have a commitment to traders report, so I'm not going to worry about aluminum. But still, it looked like it rose up and it's falling back down. So if it is falling back down, that's a good thing. That means that the cheaper the aluminum we can get to make these graphics cards out of, the less the overhead for the mining companies, and the more at least hopefully the more graphics cards they can produce and or purchase and produce more and more crypto. Here we go. This one is high grade copper. High grade copper. I guarantee you AMD and NVIDIA and ASIC are not using low grade copper in any of their graphics cards. I just don't think they are. High grade copper. The cool thing about this one does have a commitment to traders report. What a commitment to traders report is, it'll show you what the commercial bankers are doing, and that's down here at the bottom where these green and red lines are. And the green line is the large speculators. The red line is the commercial banks. Commercial banks, again, are your very large banks. Bank of America's, your banks of JP Morgan Chase, Bank of England, Bank of Japan, Federal Reserve, IMF, anything like that. They're going to be betting on futures copper, and they're going to be, and it looks like they are putting a lot more longs. Like, even though it's been going down, they've been adding longs. And this is, I want to say, let me see what contract I pulled up on bar chart. I want to say it was the March contract. Yeah, March contract. Look at this. Boom. And so this just tells you that it's adding a ton of longs. So it's expecting copper to go up, which is not good. It means copper is going to get more expensive for the graphics card companies. And if it's going to get more expensive for them, depends on how much they're going to start selling their graphics cards for. If they're going to see this, and I don't know how much of the graphics card is made out of copper, but if it's a good portion of it, I would expect a lot of these companies to be buying as much graphics cards as they can, at least newer graphics cards as they can, hopefully hoarding them, or at least getting them working. As you can see the open interest. This is the open interest here. Open interest is how many people have placed trades, for the March contract. It's a lot we got going on. And it seems to a lot of it be going, the large speculators' way. So aluminum maybe dropping, copper going up. Next one, gold. Yes, gold is used in these as conductors, of course. Gold has really not seen much of a year. We've seen gold go sideways almost the entire year. That being said, I don't see gold really going up much higher. I see gold kind of staying around the same price. So I don't see that being too much of a factor in the price of the graphics cards moving forward. And I used the February contract for this one because that one was the one that had the most open interest. But as you can see here with the large commercial traders, they're starting to add more longs on it. They were going short until recently, and now the last couple of weeks they've been adding longs for the March contract. So by March they expect gold probably to be a lot higher than what it was. So be prepared for that. Next one I got up is silver. Same situation We really had, here the purple line is the start of the year. Really haven't seen much out of silver. Been sideways. If anything, it's gotten lower throughout the year. Right. I mean, it's still at a pretty high range in the 20-something dollar range, which is really, really interesting that we've seen it in this range for this long. Here, as you can see, if we go down to the commitment to traders report, you can see that the commercials have been adding long, even though it's been dropping. They've been adding longs. And this one is for the December contract even. And if we go to bar chart, which contract is this? This is the March contract. Same thing. Adding longs to the March contract. So silver, gold, both going up by March. So anticipate that. Here was something I found interesting was they also use palladium. Oh yeah, here it is. 6 billion tantalum and palladium transistors and capacitors. Wow. A GPU chip, the thing that does all the work, has 6 billion tantalum and palladium transistors and capacitors. So, price of palladium is huge in this too. It'll be on the daily. The cool thing is the price of palladium has been falling. So that's a good thing for the GPU manufacturers. But the thing is, it's been falling, and I think it's gotten to its low. It could pull up, possibly, and then hit the breaker. We have a low, high, a high, low, higher high situation. So we do have that as a breaker situation. So this right here would be a breaker. This line right here going all the way across. So it looks like it came up and hit this one as well, because it looks like we had a high, low, higher high situation. So it looks like it's already hit one breaker. So if it comes up to this breaker, I would expect it to drop as well. So it looks like palladium may actually have some fairly low prices. Now, palladium is interestingly priced at 0.1 per troy ounce. So that's 17, maybe that's platinum. Hold on. I think I'm getting them mixed up. If I hit back, it'll tell you. And thanks for bearing with me throughout my 50 cents per troy ounce. Sorry, I was close. I think platinum it is 0.1 per troy ounce, but palladium is 50 cents per troy ounce. That's crazy. So you want palladium to be as cheap as possible so we can produce. I mean, yeah, it would be great if you had a whole pile of palladium and it ran up to $4,000. Turn around and sold it to the graphics manufacturers. That's what the miners wanted, the mineral miners. That's what they wanted. If it doesn't get that high, then it's better for the GPU manufacturers, which means it's better for crypto. So this is why I'm trying to do a full intermarket analysis today. Here, this is something I found interesting. This is in the Nasdaq. It's called JSW Steel. Or no, sorry. This is just JSW Steel futures. I don't even know what JSW Steel futures are. But steel is also in the creation of the graphics cards. A lot of them. It's actually probably what most of them are is the steel, other than the boards itself. So looks like steel had quite the run since. But ever since May, it seems like steel has been fairly flat. If anything, steel looks like almost like an even bottom here. So it looks like it could fall into this area. Hopefully it does. That way we reduce the price of steel for the graphics cards manufacturers. That way they can earn more, or at least not pay as much for the graphics cards, and pump out more crypto. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this fall. I mean, look, we already have equal highs here, so we already know there's liquidity above this. The question is when is it gonna get back up to here? I don't know. I think it's gonna take some time, just like the rest of everything else. I think steel is gonna take some time. It's gonna fall down into this area in here. Could possibly get all the way back down into the 88.6 of this range before it takes off, before it actually starts going back up again. So hopefully the steel does go down, before it starts going back up and gets above that range. That way, our graphics card manufacturers can produce us a lot of crypto, or at least they can buy up as many graphics cards as possible while it's dropping. That way they don't have to pay as much. That's the whole point of why I'm going through this. Scrap steel, I don't even really need to go over that. Platinum, this is another one. Platinum, it says, replaces nickel on higher end GPUs. Well, of course, AMD, NVIDIA, ASIC, they're not going to be using nickel. They're going to be using platinum. That way these things can fire off quicker. That way they can produce more. And this is the January contract for platinum. So this is the one that had the most open interest, the one that had the most trades. And interestingly enough, look, we're going up again. If we wanted to go back and check out what the next biggest month was, I want to say this one's February. And here you can check out the options, prices, and things like that, what the spreads are. I think, yeah. Oh, no. January was the biggest one. The next biggest one is April. We actually have way many more open interest in April. Less volume, but way more open interest. That's interesting. So let's check out April's platinum overview. Platinum, 50 troy ounces. Well, 50 troy ounces is priced at 0.1 per troy ounce, I think is what I wrote down. I took a lot of notes tonight, guys. Yeah, look at this. Just look at this curve. So this is your open interest curve. So this is your how many people have placed an options call. Doesn't matter which direction is down here. You got your large speculators calling shorts, and you got your large speculators, commercial speculators saying long. Another one saying long in April. So we got gold, silver, platinum. All commercial banks are saying we're going to be going long in the next couple months. They're expecting the prices for those metals to be going long in the next couple of months. So get ready, folks. I don't know if it has to do with the supply chain, what the reason for these metals to be rising up so much for, but get ready for, like I said, gold, silver, platinum, and palladium to be going up. I think the only thing that we saw that was going down was aluminum, and I think copper was I forgot what copper was doing, but I'm pretty sure copper was going up as well. In fact, with bar chart, what you can do is you can click on this and you can look at anything: gold, silver, high grade copper, platinum, palladium, cattle feed, cotton, orange juice, cocoa, lumber. Lumber is one thing we probably need to look at, because what are they going to be making the boards out of? Lumber, or actually epoxy resin, which is a tree product. So either way, we're going to be looking at using lumber to make these GPU boards, the graphics processors. So let's take a look at what the biggest contract is. It looks like it's in March. It says sell signal for now. Oh yeah, it's sideways, but banks are saying it's going up. The big guys are saying it's going up. That's right. So even though copper's been kind of wonky and sideways, actually downwards, a little bit more downwards than anything, the banks, which is the red line, are adding longs to all other trades, to all their future trades on copper. So expect copper to be going up, and this is March as well. I think this might be this is the platinum futures on Tradingview. So you can get kind of the same thing on Tradingview sometimes. You just got to have the right indicator. Indicator I would suggest is this one right here. It's called RCOT, Commitment of Traders, right? About 1,600 people have it, and it shows you, the large speculators and the commercials. This one doesn't give you the small speculators, because it's not like they really matter anyway. But it'll kind of let you know what the large banks are thinking. And this one is actually more up to date. I forgot who made this, but I talked to them, and they were actually able to pull Quandle information into creating this indicator. So I thought that was nice. That was really cool of them to be able to do that. Platinum going up, expecting it to be high by April. And then this is the one I found interesting. Oh, I thought it was, never mind. I thought it was, we don't have to look at that one. I could have swore it was NASDAQ, but it's not. So now that we're looking at all that, let me pull this back. Here's Bitcoin. And if we're thinking everything else is pulling back for some reason and getting below a specific point, what do we think Bitcoin might do? I think Bitcoin might get to this point here, right around about $40,000 probably again. Maybe just get a little bit below that. We might have a couple of months of it going sideways before it finally pops up and takes off again. And it could be a couple months before it gets there. Ethereum. This one's going to be an interesting one because Ethereum has always been growing. It hasn't been like Bitcoin to where it's. I mean, yeah, it's had its pullbacks, but it hasn't really had its. I mean, yeah, maybe this area right through here that we saw that kind of sucked. Ever since then, no, we've seen it continuously been riding its wave. I think it's probably at the bottom, or getting close to the bottom of its wave, and I think it'll be ticking up sooner than later, before Bitcoin will be, and I think eventually we will see Ethereum overtake Bitcoin as the more dominant coin in the market. If they can, as long as they can switch to proof of stake faster, if they can cut their gas prices down, yeah, Ethereum will definitely be the winner because they know they have competition now. They're getting scared. They don't want Matic to take all their business. They don't want Polkadot to take all their business. But each of them are going to have their own place in this economy. We'll just have to see what happens. What's interesting though is BNB. BNB is really interesting because it was like a pre-proof of work coin. So it had already been mined before they even started selling it. It wasn't like everything else where they were like, okay, we got this work. It's we got this coin. It's called this. So you just kind of mine it and sell it. Instead, they had already made up their product. They mined it and then they were like, all right, boom, now let's sell it. So BNB is a little bit different. It's a little odder than the rest of them, but and I basically picked the top coins from CoinMarketCap to kind of show what's going on. So this one may not have, I mean, it'll still have a pullback, but I don't think it's going to have as big of an effect or as big of an issue as Bitcoin will, or as Bitcoin is having now. It could probably pull back out of it sooner. Because it's not a mine and go situation. They've already got it. They've already got most of it mined. They can probably pull it. A lot of people could be switching from Bitcoin to BNB right now, and then we could see BNB kind of take off until Bitcoin hit its low area, to where the smart money traders are going to want to start buying again, and then it takes off. So we could see the retail traders switch from Bitcoin to BNB until Bitcoin finally takes off again. Then I would expect to see the switch back. And then last but not least, throwing out Solanium here. Solanium, hello. Solana. As you can see, it was kind of nothing for out most of the year, and then boom, it just kind of took off out of nowhere. I remember Solana when it was $20. I remember I had 5 coins. I just threw 100 at it, and each coin was $20. I remember selling. I think I sold some at like $80 something, and I think I sold another something in another portion of it at like 120. So I kind of slapped myself in the head for that because I could have held it until it hit about 200 and something. I could have 10x'd my money, but 25x'd my money. Jeez, but hey, I made a pretty penny out of Solana thanks to Gate.io. If you haven't checked out Gate.io, check it out because they're the ones that get all the coins the earliest. They had Solana the earliest, and that's the only reason I had Solana. And until KuCoin got Solana, then I transferred my Solana over to KuCoin. Until then, that was the only place I knew how to get Solana, unless I wanted to go through Uniswap or something like that, which I don't like DEXs. I really don't like DEXs just because I don't like paying those fees. I would rather pay 10-20% maker taker fee than having to pay a huge price of gas fees just to get some coins. That's just me. So you can see Solana also a little bit of different angle on the pullback. It looks like it's made equal highs right here. It's already setting itself up for a run right there at 244, somewhere around in that area. So it's setting itself up for a run. It might pull back down to underneath one of these guys, around $100 or so, 105 or something like that. It could pull back that far. And then if it does that, I would expect a run on price again from Solana. Pull a fib on this. Yep. pulls back down to about the 80%, which is what I would expect, right around 103, 107, somewhere around in there. Just underneath this guy here, that little breaker there, just underneath 115. I think it'll probably spike underneath 115. That'll be the perfect time to buy, and then boom, it'll take off again. But again, we're probably gonna see this slow drag out for the next couple of months, and hopefully these companies, these mining companies, will get their hands on as many graphics cards as they can before May or March through May gets here, whenever we see copper, silver, gold, platinum, palladium all jump up to very high prices. But remember that those are going to jump up to high prices. That's going to affect the price of graphics cards, which could affect the price of crypto. So that's my intermarket analysis. I hope you have learned something today. I know that it was probably a lot longer than you expected. It was a lot longer than I expected. Maybe I'll chop this up into a couple different parts. I don't know. But thank you for watching. And always remember to wear your pants. All right, now that this has been recorded, as you can see, there has been quite a lot of changes. Primarily, I want to say specifically, even though I didn't go over it, in Matic, huge run up in Matic and AVAX ever since the recording of this. Bitcoin, Ethereum, kind of, right on that path that I thought it might be on. BNB right along there too. Solana still, hanging in there. It seems like everything's starting to pull up to be a positive at the end of November, which means we could start to see a good start to the beginning of the year next year. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching all 3 parts. And well, if you haven't, go back and watch 1 and then watch 2. And then rewatch this one. Why not? But I'm actually going to go through and look at I did 3 top 10s earlier in the year from altcoins. And I'm going to pick the actual 10 that perform the best. All right, that's going to be my next video. All right, well, thanks a lot for watching all 3 of these. I hope you got something out of it. I hope it was enlightening, to say the least, especially the commodities part with the metals. What we're expecting coming up, and love you guys. And I already said it, but I'll say it again. Keep your pants on.